Peace, y'all. It's your boy Johnny Fastlane here with allhiphop.com. So, Quentin Miller addresses rumors that he wrote for Nas. Let's talk hip-hop. Alright, yo, this situation is crazy, right? Because Quentin Miller just went on Instagram to address rumors to basically say whether or not he wrote for Nas, right? So y'all know the whole situation, man. King's Disease is out, King's Disease Part 3. And of course, there are a lot of people in the credits. One of those people is Quentin Miller, right? And you guys know Quentin Miller, he is the ghostwriter for Drake, maybe? There was a reference track from 10 years ago now where Quentin Miller was rapping one of Drake's verses on Meek Mill's song. You guys know the whole scandal. That's why Meek Mill and Drake started beefing. I think Funk Flex actually leaked the verse. Anyway, Meek Mill ended up seeing Quentin Miller. They ended up getting physical. Whole crazy situation, right? Anyway, Quentin Miller still is writing for people, apparently. So a lot of people on Twitter were saying that he helped pen some verses for Nas, right? Now, we all know Nas is a lyricist, and we know that Nas ain't finna take nobody else's rhymes but his own, so Quentin Miller had to go clear that up, right? And he did, man. He said that, yo, I was in the studio with Nas and Hit Boy. Yeah, I threw around some ideas, but that's about it, man. Then Nas went in there, he penned his own stuff, basically is what he said, right? He said that the days of, a ghostwriter just completely writing a 16-bar verse and then handing it over to somebody, those days are pretty much dead. Sometimes you will get ideas and things like that in the studio throughout conversations, but the top tier artists aren't taking, cut and pasting verses that someone else wrote for them, right? He says when you are a ghostwriter, you do not get credit for writing. He says, I get credit for my writing. I am not a ghost. Went off. He says, I am not a ghost, right? Which is crazy as hell. And man, ever since the whole Meek Mill scandal, Quentin Miller has been having a hard time in the industry, but at least he's still getting his money and he's still active and moving around. You don't work with Drake, you don't work with Nas, you don't work with mad people. He alluded to the fact that he was writing for other artists as well. So he's still getting his money, and let me know what y'all think about this in the comments.